So let's take a look at some behaviors. Not that one. Let's go to this one. So did Alex Pretti, however you say his name, was he in the right or was he in the wrong? Was he just protesting or was he doing more than that? So let's take a look. I follow this guy, Derek Van Schaik, and he does body language and other stuff. And he's a little quirky, but he's pretty good. I like him. So let's see what he notices in this video. And this is another video from a second angle or third angle or whatever that gives you more context, not on the incident that he lost his life from making bad decisions, but this is showing his past history of protesting.
Alex apparently had a history, and possibly even a lengthy history, with the US Border Patrol. This, of course, does not imply that Alex deserved to die, but we now have a little bit of the prequel of what happened before January 24th. Also keep in mind, this is the footage that was recorded and also made public. There were possibly many other incidents where he confronted US Border Patrol over the past few weeks, but it was not recorded, and even if it was recorded, maybe it just wasn't made public. The first thing we notice is that there seems to be US Border Patrol in this intersection where car alarms are going off. As of right now, we don't see Alex, so it's going to be interesting to see how Alex enters the scene and what causes him to come into the scene here.
So you see these people standing here. I think he points this out. They're not interfering. They're just standing there. They may just be recording. So one who gave them the heads up that they were going to be there. Obviously, as you probably have found out, this is an organized revolt against the Republic. And that's why they get heads up. But they're not breaking any laws here. They're just observing. And that's what you've probably been told that Alex was doing. He was just observing. He wasn't doing anything wrong. Well, let's take a look at that.
A lot of people gathered in this intersection. But what specifically do you notice with most of these people who are gathered in this intersection? Yeah, they have their cell phones out, apparently recording the Border Patrol agents in this intersection. Then here we notice Alex sprinting to that intersection to confront US Border Patrol. Now we hear Alex verbally confronting Border Patrol by yelling expletives. Keep in mind, in this point of the situation, a lot of people are still recording with their cell phones. However, if you notice, when we zoom in here, do you notice anything different with these cameras here? Yes, it appears there's at least 3 professional type of cameras here. Therefore, Alex and pretty much anyone is going to know that this moment here is going to get a lot of attention because there's professional cameras that have larger reach for... He calls them trash, and as that Border Patrol agent gets into the back seat of that SUV, Alex seems to spit on him before he can close the door. Alex then keeps yelling, "You're trash, you're trash." When doing all of that is not causing a response from Border Patrol, watch here what Alex does. Yes, he kicks out the right tail light of the Border Patrol SUV. Of course, the agents in the truck are going to feel that their truck was hit. Also, the agents in the SUV probably looked behind them when they felt that first kick from Alex, and when he kicked the tail light again, it confirmed that it was indeed Alex. Also, Alex was really the only escalated one there. Everyone else was just filming, so it was obvious it was Alex. Now notice what Alex does here when the Border Patrol agent gets out of the SUV.
Okay, I mean, that makes the point. So the reason I wanted to show you that is because all of what I showed you before on those verses is to say that we are to be in subjection of the governing authorities that are over us. And this is not that. 100% guarantee Alex did not know who they were targeting, who ICE was going to pick up. And from what I've seen, the vast majority are violent criminals. You'll hear stories that they're going door to door, they're going to Home Depot, which they have done that. I've seen that they have done that. So I have not seen the door to door other than when they know that there is a criminal in the residence and they're going to get them. How many of those people that are arrested when you hear American citizens are arrested are people defending like this fool? Like, he should have been arrested. I think ICE would have had done him a favor had they arrested him and he'd have been in jail the following week or following week and a half. And I think we've taken too many steps back. We're governing from our heels. And I think, I'm not saying that people need to be beat up or worse, but they need to be, if they're doing stuff like that, he should have been arrested. No doubt he should have been arrested, and that's a federal charge. If you start giving people federal sentences for the things, for attacking a government vehicle, this stuff will stop. I mean, the common person will stop. The paid agitator, like he was, and like Renee was, I don't know. You know, people sell their souls for money. So it's just it's a very sad situation, and it just shows the how gross people can be. You agitate and agitate and agitate, and these guys are dealing with this 100 times over in the last year, 1,000 times over in the last year. How many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have been deported already? How many times they have to deal with this every single day that they go to work? Can you imagine dealing with? I mean, you don't like that cranky guy that's beating up the printer or the copy machine, or has a bad attitude every morning because he hasn't had his coffee yet. You can't handle that. These guys got to deal with this every day, and it's just terrible. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Say a prayer for everybody involved, for people who are drinking the Kool-Aid on either side. You know, like saying that the ICE can do no wrong, or that these agitators can do no wrong. Yeah, it's not a pretty situation, and everybody needs to be prayed for. And I don't know, but we don't need to be governing from our heels. That's the way I feel. And I feel that if you haven't come here legally, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. Like, you would never allow that in your house. People just don't come over uninvited, you know. And that's talking about our friends and family, right? Call before you come over. All right. I hate to be always talking about bad news, and I'll have to get back to some more scripture. That's why I showed you quite a few. I was surprised that there were that many about abiding by the law, both for the native and for the sojourner, which we established that the sojourner is very few in number. So just take that away and share that around. When somebody posts something ridiculous like this, be kind to the sojourner, don't oppress the sojourner, which I would argue that when you allow people to come here illegally and you don't allow them to get legal citizenship, you are the oppressor, because you want them here to serve your Mexican food, give you a burrito, or clean your bathroom at your work. You want them to do those jobs that you won't do, and that's the problem. Anyway, do right, man. Let's do better. Let's just do better than this. This is none of this is good. None of that's good.